Alrighty, let's get this show a little bit on the road. Oh, my EQSSR is way off. Let me fix that because that is not accurate. There we go. So today we'll be doing two things. First, we'll start an early morning stream, and second, I probably should do my dailies. My goals for today are twofold. One of them is my THJ cast, improving it a little bit more. The other goal is my a new project that we're going to be calling ROF Plus or ROF2 Plus. Probably ROF2 Plus. So that's coming up. Anyways, super early morning stream. I think my light is a little too bright. Let me turn it. I have to find that balance where like you can't see my green screen, but also I'm not blinded. It's kind of hard to find sometimes, but I think we're good now. Also, I'm like a little too high. There. Now I'm like flush with my hotbar. So, yeah, let's do a quick clear and I'll show off the latest progress with my cast thing. So you can see it's right there. Let me, wait, you probably can't see it. Let me double check. That works. I think I figured out cast. Let's see if it works now. Or does it turn everything black? Did I ever remove? No. Give me one sec here. Toggle block comments. Restart the thing. Okay. Now do you see it? You do not. Why don't you see it? Oh, it's because it's not on the taskbar. See, it's not rendering it black, or it's not rendering it. Oh, wait. I think that's actually a setting. There we go. Interesting, the alignment's off though. Is that? You know what I might do? I'm gonna remove game. And EverQuest. I'm gonna just capture it by itself. Like that. And we'll toss it down here. Like this. Okay. Closer, but your alignment's still a little off. And that's because, see, now it's too big. Interesting. So my bar is a little bit more over. That's close enough. So Shin thoughts, engineering ring. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start pulling all these dudes. So you'll notice on the left, I now get DPS reports too, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I'm not stretched wide enough, weirdly. Wonder why that's happening. I might need to clean that up a little bit more. But what's cool is when you target a mob or yourself, you get the report back. Let's do this. Transform, reset. Transform, reset. See, that's closer, but for some reason the alignment is slightly off. Only vertically though. And I don't get why. That's closer. Weird though, I had to like reduce the size or the position down by about half of that black space. I think at one point I need to make it so my taskbar is overridden by EverQuest. I may want to do that at some point. Can I even do that easily? Because the problem with EverQuest, is there a full screen bordered mode? Ooh. Yeah, the problem with that is it just jacks all sorts of stuff up. Maybe I'll work on that. Make a full screen borderless mode. It might be worth it because, wow, that really sucked. I just screwed up all my freaking windows. I could probably even do that with cast. I don't know though if the GL renderer or the DirectX renderer is going to be happy if I do that. It might complain, but that's okay. But yeah, good morning, guys. Let's mess with that. I think that sounds good. So what we're gonna do while we wait for repop. Oh wait, one of them popped. Let's just go kill him real quick. Let me double check the UI. It looks perfect. It's exactly like my alignment. I could probably do a buff state system too. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, okay. Back to MQ2 cast. And let me also full screen, because you do not see cast without my thing, and that's fine, because I see that anyways. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an EQ window system. So in order to do that, we're gonna make a borderless window option. Will you figure this out? It doesn't need to be a pop-up window. I don't want it to be, okay, yeah, this already screwed all of it up. Let's go to ChatGPT and see if it can do better before I bother writing it all, because it takes me more work. Okay, make this function properly resize a window to be full screen, take off its title bar, and take off its title bar. So it is a borderless full screen window. Okay, so our current one is messing with Xstyle and Geost. Okay, so let's see how much of this works. I imagine it's going to hallucinate on some of it. But we can try. Wow, no errors? Oh no, one here. If okay. So now we're going to find the EverQuest window and attempt to do that with like a button. So we're going to add a new button. And the text is going to be make EverQuest full screen borderless. I like how I just half-assed that function and thought it was okay, because that is not okay. I think that fixes it though. All right, moment of truth. So what we're gonna do is, so here's EverQuest, right? We're gonna go to settings, and then we're gonna hit this. Oh, it didn't compile. Why didn't it compile? Another thing we should do, make this bat file error fail on any error. Good morning, Pudsey. Hope you're doing well. Let's see if this works. There we go. So now we aren't just blind compiling. That's why. Nice. All right, let's see if this works. So we have the window here. We're going to say make EverQuest full screen borderless. So it did something, but it looks like I'm fighting it. Trying for that ring. What ring? Good morning, Matsurugi. I'm doing all sorts of fun stuff, but Oh, just working on getting some disappointed. Oh, I see it now. I missed the message, but see the lava stone ring. So it looks like EQ is fighting me with this option. Let me double check some of this stuff. Setting resolution to we're going to write a little debugger message. Okay. Let's do another EverQuest borderless. Go back in game. Setting resolution to 00 SOP and 1920 by 1080. And it did not properly set it. I think it's because EverQuest is fighting me. Let's try doing it like this. Oh, look at that. I did it. And then, oops, that's going to go full screen. Interesting. Before doing the full screen option, can you make it not, can you check if the window is currently set to maximized and undo the maximize? Check if the currently maximized, restore to a normal state. Before applying, you can use the isZoomed function. Okay. Is isZoomed already leveraged? Let's see if this works. Yeah, see, every time I full screen, it fucks up the screen, but that's all right. So I will answer your question here in a second. This is huge, by the way, like what I'm about to fix. Because, all right, so we're gonna make EverQuest full screen borderless. The screen is currently full screen. Perfect. So this is not full screen. Like this isn't this. Oh no, the mouse is a little off though. And it's also stretched. I need to set to the video mode. Yeah, I can fix it, but look at this. It's perfect. I've never been able to get full screen borderless without the lossless scaling or ISBoxer. Yeah, so I'm editing the Win32 API calls, and I just made this full screen borderless. The problem is when I do this setting, the video mode needs to be properly set to 1920 by 1080. And typically, when you have this resolution, if I resize the screen, it doesn't cause EverQuest to update. So let's try it again though with overlap Windows taskbar. See, it's still at 1920 by 1080 is why it looks okay. But Overlapping Windows taskbar doesn't... Oh, that actually makes the window... Nice. This is working. Morning, Mango. The problem is I have to do a bunch of calls to the EverQuest client. Honestly, this could be a component that...
Thanks for the follow, N1Nez.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for the follow, N1Ness. And yeah, Mango, good morning. I mean, that's kind of cool. The problem is it has a bunch of things to make it work. But I don't think they're end of the world. Let's see what happens when we exit real quick and restart the client. I'm assuming it's going to go back to just full screen. Yeah. And even at this mode, if I go to settings, oops, that fixes it. Except it has the stretch problem because... Okay. Let's go to EQ client and look at the resolution. So here's the full screen. Here's the restored. I don't think that's going to fix it though. Does anyone know offhand where the windowed mode resolution is set to? Keep on reopen file. I don't even know what that was doing. Okay, let's try again. So when the game starts up, the window obviously doesn't align right, but if we go into settings, make it full screen, see how the mouse is offset? This is because the resolution is not proper. And I can't actually restore it during this point. That's better. Oh, but now I can't restart it to full screen. Oh well, we're gonna log in and let's see. I gotta think about this. Basically, I'm trying to make a non-intrusive way to make your window work as well on my little app. Because that would be a huge quality of life. But honestly, I might be able to push that onto EQ Core as an option. It would require probably this, or we could actually add a command. Like you say, /. Why is this, by the way, not 100% on faded? It drives me nuts. Anyways, that went back to 1640. Let's see. Yeah, you see here how the windowed height went back to 1071. Let's exit. Let's try setting this to 1080. And then let's start the client up again. And I think it's restoring it every time the machine comes on, or the game window comes up. still 1080. Oh, maybe it does stay. However, this feels clean. And now my screen is actually full screen too, huh? Oops. There it goes. Look at that. I got EQ to be full screen, borderless. It's not perfect. But now I have to fix this thing. That works. Okay, now when I cast, you're aligned a little better. I messed with cast. Let me restore that window too. So it is overlighting on mine as well. Overriding, sorry. Cool. That makes me happy. You do get this bug where like you're on the app and then you see this, but if you I don't know if I can fix that. It might be one of the options. Not end of the world. I don't have overlap taskbar on. Basically, what we need to do is when you're off of the client, restored. Oh, let's do some tweaking here. So we're going to be setting this junk off. Like this. And then let's start the client up with these settings. And let's see how it looks when we're on this mode. I mean, it looks normal. If I go to my settings and make it full screen borderless, yeah, see, it has the offset problem again. And that's because the renderer is not properly going across the whole canvas. That's fine though. Let's log in. And let's see if the resolution gets fixed after, because right there, it's actually applying a lot of the EQ client settings. Hey, Alicon, how's it going, dude? So we're in game. Now let's hit it full screen borderless. And this is perfect. Nice. So this isn't full screen like you're used to. This is actually borderless full screen, like you guys are probably used to. Windowed borderless mode. And the reason I like this is you don't get that flicker when you tab out of the game. Like I can hit my start button and I can, do stuff. This is because I was messing with the resolution. My only issue is when it's not in focus, it overlaps the start menu, and I'm not fully sure why. I think I want one of my window decorator options could fix that. Yeah, and I do too, Alicon. But the thing I don't like about windowed mode is you have no option to hide the taskbar. And that's what I'm doing. Is I want, like, EQ is almost there. If I had full screen windowed, borderless, and then I fix all these little nuances, it would be nice. And I'm almost there. I just got to do a couple other quick tweaks to make it fully work. So essentially, some of these things for full screen borderless, let me see if I can get ChatGPT to fix that for me. So when I unfocus the full screen borderless window, the taskbar isn't showing, and the full screen app is still overriding the taskbar. Can you flip an option for that? Okay, so what did it do? Caption, thick frame, minimize, maximize, sys menu is gone. Then it's using a DLG modal frame, client edge, static edge, getting the monitor dimensions, setting the window to cover the monitor area. It redraws it, and then ensure taskbar is not hidden. That's what it added. But this is that one twice, isn't it? Yeah. Was this because we invalidated it? So we set the monitor. Oh. It's the topmost. Where did I have topmost? Is it here? I think that's what we need. Let's test. So right now the window's jacked up. I'll have to make a restore option too, but that comes after we get it cleaned up. There we go. Oh, no, it's still doing it here. It is possible because of all the resolution changes we're doing. It's just lingering. Nope, it's still doing it. Okay, what else? Linked window. Avoid using topmost. Use the no owner Z order and no Z order. If you want to dynamically adjust behavior based on focus change, you may need to handle the messages in your application's message loop. When the Windows loop focuses, you can adjust its Z order or styles dynamically. Yeah, so all of this code that I'm writing here should honestly just be an EQ core feature. In fact, I might work on that later. Because if I make it an EQ core feature, then Kata can actually bring it up and make it work on everybody's machine. And we could even make it where there's like a GUI option for it now, but then also you can do / commands to manage the, the drawing orders and stuff to get full screen borderless. But until I take the time to do that, I'm just going to use my little hack for now. It's a little bit more of a headache, so I don't know if I'll distribute that one. But maybe. I'll just have it as a little feature on my cast. So what I'll do, go into options, display, turn off, allow window resizing, overlap window taskbar, and go to video modes and set it to your resolution. Because if you don't do that, you're going to get some weird issues. Hey Valoroth, how you doing, dude? Currently working on, if you haven't noticed, my EverQuest is full screen, but it's not full screen steal your resolution. It's full screen borderless. This is something EQ severely lacks. The way I'm doing it's a little hacky. What I'm probably going to do later is integrate this right into EQ Core. I don't know if you guys are familiar with EQ Core. It's a DLL that has client-side mods, and it's actually one of the kind of baseline frameworks that THJ is even using for, all their patches and mods and stuff. It's a really simple little app that any server owner can use to kind of like basically muck with EverQuest without mucking with EverQuest. So in fact, you know how we have this map with the mobs and stuff? This actually is EQ Core side-loading MQ2 stuff with client-side, with the D input chain. But yeah, we'll add a feature for borderless full screen inside of EQ Core, probably through new commands, like /borderless, and it'll go in and just modify it, because it doesn't make sense to use a third-party app to do that. I mean, I can do that. Like you can see here, it's working perfectly fine. But yeah, anyways, this is the other thing I made. So you notice on the left, it says spawn number, 125, and then it says no battle found. So if I start doing DPS to different mobs, like I'm going to cast Soulwell on all these, what's going to happen is that the damage events are going to be tracked on my new battler, and you can actually see a DPS report on the left. And what's cool about this DPS report is if I switch over to a different thing, so like I've done 70 or 8,000 damage, if I switch to another one, no battle found. So these are actually the same NPC names, and I actually can detect and give you DPS on every individual mob, even if they have the same NPC name. Because I'm not using the logs. I'm literally watching the packets coming in that do damage events. So every mob has its own individual tracker, even if they have the exact same NPC name. So it's more accurate. And then also, the moment the death event occurs, so we'll do that here on sec. I'll actually try to get them to die right, not on the same spot, just so I can show it a little easier. It's because I'm doing a different approach, Valoroth. I'm taking it, the intent is you won't even have to turn on your log file, which means, how you get that lag spike whenever a bunch of mobs die? Part of that is because your logs are on, and that has a performance issue when there's a lot of log events happening. So if you can turn off your log file, that heavily helps performance. Okay, so there's mob 1. Sadly, had no corpse. There's mob 2. But what I wanted to show you, shit, no freaking money on each of them. Anyways, hopefully this one has money, yeah. Because what happens is like if I select myself, you can actually see all the damage that I've taken in the sources. But then you can also see if I target a mob, the corpse is tied to the DPS report. So you can just select a mob after the fight to get a recap on what that fight looked like. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never seen that before. I don't think anyone's managed a DPS report that lets you, recap it by just targeting the mob. One issue that you can see here, this mob is 206, and you can see that 206 has no damage on it, and that's because he got healed. So I might actually just put a heal field so you can see the healing. And there's some ordering things going on with each draw. But then also your total damage, my percent magic and melee is a little off. For some reason, my detection for magic's not working, so it's always melee. But yeah, isn't that kind of cool? It's going to take a lot of work. I turned off the, how Yeah. It's so, yeah. The reason there's so many of these like cool things is I'm technically doing something you can't do on live. Though who knows, maybe they would allow it on live. It's just because it's a slippery slope. I got permission from Kata immediately when I started working on this because I knew the way I'm approaching this is very iffy. Specifically, you'll notice that there's network devices. So the reason I don't have to use a log file is because this program is actually a packet sniffer. So what it's doing is, so normally your computer or your game client, what makes it actually report data is the incoming packets that have the data on it. That data then gets looked up and parsed and, prettified and put on your screen. And it also gets put onto your log file. So it's a two-step process, right? So there's a delay before your log file actually gets the data. And because now I'm a third-party tool, and just like Show EQ, I'm just watching the packet stream, I can now report data on the wire, and it doesn't have a burden on EverQuest, right? Like I'm getting it live straight from the wire and not through the EverQuest chain. So I'm not touching EverQuest memory. I'm not touching anything related to EQ, which means I have full control over, how it's displayed, the logic. That's also why right now you just have name ID, is those are the spawn IDs. And my spawn packet right now doesn't actually discern the names yet. I need to work on that. It has to do with the combined packet delivery. My packet sniffer's combined packet decoder has some bugs. So the events in spawn aren't properly getting mapped, but I did create a package that manages spawns as an independent project right here. Let me deselect anybody because otherwise that thing stays there. So this right here is a new package I wrote up that just, it's its own little package that anything can call. And when it starts, it subscribes to the sniffer and says, any packet events, just let me take a look at them. And then this right here, you can see for spawn data, whenever there's a new spawn, whenever when zone spawns happens, zone spawns usually has like a huge package of them. Then zone change, so like if you ever change zones, I clear all your spawn data because obviously you're not with the right data anymore. And then also delete spawn, which is the, when you remove the corpse, delete spawn event happens. Yep. And then my battler, this is what the DPS reporter does. Essentially, I have battles, and then I have battle logs. And what happens is the map on this, battles is active spawns and any damage events that you've seen through packets. It gets stored there. And then when when the mob has a death event and turns into a corpse, that's when battle logs shifts that entry and basically finalizes it, because that's considered the end of the battle. So if you don't experience the death of a mob, you may have some issues right now because I can't really snapshot the full duration of the fight. But yeah. So, and then each battle entry has a start time and end time. Last known HP percent was kind of a debugger where whenever I get a packet that talks about like a spawn's hit points percent, that kind of helps me get an indicator of like if the fight got reset is the intent with that one. It's still theoretical. Then you got your enemy ID. When it does transition to a corpse ID, I store it there. And that's what lets you target a mob that's a corpse, because corpses actually have a separate entity ID to an enemy with spawns, or like to the NPC. And then the enemy name, that eventually will be getting pulled from the spawn database once I get spawn fixed. And then zone ID, I'm just snapshotting if I know the zone that the event occurred on. And the reason it's like if I know is because technically if you start up this program and you haven't zoned, some of this data may be partial. Like I may not know what the spawn's name is because the packet doesn't actually say that. When you zone in, you get data about all the different spawns and their spawn IDs and all the names and what they should look like and all that, and it gets rendered by your client. But if you start my program app and I'm not If you start my program up and I haven't had the opportunity to see all that data, you basically have to zone in order to get me all that data so that I can, be as accurate as possible. But it doesn't break anything if you just run it right in a zone. You're just going to get some partial data until I have an informed knowledge about that other info. Also really interesting what cool fonts and settings you allow for Crit Sprinkler. Not sure if you looked into that all yet. Yeah, so the problem I have right now is, so Crit Sprinkler was an awesome initial experimentation, and it's giving me a lot of data that's helping me learn what I want from that program. One of the biggest challenges I hit with Crit Sprinkler is it immediately becomes feature creep, right? Like everybody wants all these really cool features added to it. And I'm probably going to keep Crit Sprinkler as simple as it is now. I might bring over some of the cool things I've added for cast, let me show you. So you see the cast bar here? If you hit show cast bar adjust, the window's not perfect, but you see this window that you can drag around? If you hit test, this is now where it renders. So instead of having to drag around the settings window, you can now, drag around these windows. And there's also one for a pet bar adjustment. See here? And right now this is just casting. But the idea is then you can just hide and show these for adjusting. And once I have this fully fleshed out, Crit Sprinkler can take advantage of that and then let you actually place the different effects at different locations on your screen. That's kind of the idea with this. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm working on that. I also have show graphics on taskbar. This is for OBS. So I have an issue where OBS will not render programs if they don't have a taskbar task. So when you're a client, or if you're just a player and you're just using my tool for personal use, you don't ever need to check this. But you can if you want. It's just that I have that, yeah. And you have to set a spells file because that's data that gets pulled. All I get is spell IDs, and this lets you actually see the names. So the reason you can see that this is Barrier of Force is because the spells files has been set. So again, the data I'm learning from cast is going to carry over back to Crit Sprinkler. So they're all kind of in the same ecosystem. But cast, I call it cast currently. I need to give it an actual name still. This program's going to get crazy. I can already tell you, especially now that I got the thumbs up from Kata. DPS reporting, cast bar fixes, pet bar fixes, basically all that stuff that's really hard to do on the client. I can basically crutch it and kind of just help out with my program. And even the full screen borderless thing, to me, I love WinnieQ and ISBoxer and all these different apps, but a lot of them are a little aggressive on what they're setting. So I made this temporary. Down the line, as I said, I'll put it into EQ Core, and then it'll be a built-in feature with EverQuest. I'm pretty sure we have all the methods to hook and everything to make that work. So that will be a cool added feature to just any server that has EQ Core on it can utilize that. So cool. So we'll talk about my next project, by the way. I know I'm ADD with projects, but this is one that Kata really, really, really wants. And so I'm going to put it as a priority one. Here we go. Hey, Mulligan. So as you know, he just recently added all these new ornaments, and we have the ugly Hero Forged armors and just all this weird junk that got added. Some of it's hit or miss. So Modern EQ actually has a bunch of these assets, and they're cleaned up and a lot better. And the problem is we don't really have a way to ensure a client has said assets. And they're trying to keep it legal. Specifically, we don't want to distribute those files if we don't have to, specifically from us as a hosting solution, right? So what we're looking into is, Sorry, I gotta stay alive. There we go. And again, you can see DPS with each fight on the top left. I should actually add the shadow. I'll probably put a background to it, honestly, like a little border. But yeah, every mob, you just click it. I did 24,222 track damage. I was doing about 477 DPS just on that mob. And this one, I was doing 1529 DPS. But notice, these mobs have the exact same name, and I can tell you the DPS of each individual mob because of the way packets work. I actually can identify each individual mob and the damage events based on it. What are the limitations with EQ Core? For example, could you implement your own advanced loot? Yeah. The problem with advanced loot is that it is a huge fucking ordeal to write it all, especially if you want to replicate what Live is doing. It's possible, yes, but not easy. Especially because it's not just a client-side mod. It also has to be fully supported on server-side. So what would make sense is after Larian Song's client gets advanced loot PR'd into EQEMU server, I could actually consider adding to EQ Core an opt-in system that is kind of like a rudimentary advanced loot integration into ROF. What I mean by rudimentary is, I don't know, I could possibly get all the UI elements to render on there and maybe simulate all the packets too, and basically piggyback the work with Larian Song and make it work in ROF too. But until we have that scaffolding up, it would be way too much work for just me to fully implement it. It's possible, but it's a lot of work. Server side, because groups have to roll on everything, right? There's just everything you can imagine. Even the event of a mob dying and it discerning that the killer's group, or the majority killer, has to be informed of the loot that dropped, right? And then deciding on the server side logic of how each player opts in to said loot logic, and then doing the distribution of loot. That's all server side. Client side is more about like accepting the item, showing the interactions with filtering and advanced loot stuff. Yeah, and I mean, you can create rudimentary ones, of course, absolutely. But I would rather, like, especially if I'm going to put time into it. By the way, it's funny. So I don't have a cutoff for DPS anymore, and I don't really know if you're out of combat or not. So like right now, every single fight I've ever done, their entity IDs are listed here. And this is how long it's been since I've restarted MQCast, 999 seconds. So it's just incrementing every second with the data. I don't like that it doesn't order it though. I thought I fixed that. This is actually rendering every draw update, which is 60 times a second. I think it's at right now, 60 TPS. But I cache the data so it only updates every second. So it doesn't like spam the shit out of you every time it does a draw call. But yeah, just letting you know there's a little bit of cleanup on that needed. Especially like melee. I don't know why everything's going to melee still. But that aside, the discussion is we're going to make what's called ROF2 Plus. My intent is this tool called ROF2 Plus is a client that takes the latest manifest of Larian Song and merges assets into a baseline ROF2 manifest. And I won't do a lot of mods to incorporate said assets. Instead, I'll serve a like base framework that then server owners can then, point players to download ROF2 Plus and then run their patcher. And then their patcher will, configure the on-demand or the global loads and everything to leverage the ROF2 Plus assets. So this isn't just a fix for THJ. This will be like a foundational project that's going to help all of the EKEMU servers be able to tap into assets without necessarily breaking the EULA with Daybreak games, because you're going to be using a Steam download and a validator. The initial plan is, if you're familiar with Download EQ ROF 2, which is a project I wrote, and actually is getting a lot of use on here, which I didn't want to because it was a prototype, but apparently it's working decently good. Out of curiosity, is anyone that's on my chat, all 25 of you, did any of you guys use the Download EQ ROF program to get your EverQuest client? Yeah, see, my window got shrunk. Hey, Martins. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, if you go to getting started, not I. Yeah, you probably already had it before. I imagine most people in this use Drive. Yeah. And that's all good. Honestly, even when ROF2, the client, comes out, players will probably have their own means to distribute this new one. Yeah, this isn't so much about like recommending it or anything. It was more just a question on like anyone's experience with it, if it worked well, etc., etc. Yeah, most of you guys are vets, so you've definitely keep an ROF2 client laying around. Nevertheless, the intent with this new project is, I don't care where you get assets from. That's your prerogative. I'll have recommendations through Steam, and even potentially a Steam downloader for you, like a depot downloader. But even that would be like last resort. But ultimately, the new program that I'm going to write, let's go to a notepad. So step one is, it's a client validator. So this is just basically going to say, looks at your current files and, checks what's missing that's vital for a baseline client. Okay. Step two is, it's going to be a, kind of like a recommender or a reporter. How about an analysis? Reports missing files and where to obtain them. Step three is a fetcher. This won't come until later, but how about downloader? But basically an option in the program to fix missing assets via Steam. And then probably fourth is, it's going to be a patcher. It'll just be, it's just EKEMU patcher laced in to the above. If a slot is dyed via prismatic dye and you use a glamour stone on the armor piece, is it possible to get that glamour stone to take the color that you dyed on the slot? I've not looked into that at all, Pickle, so I don't know, unfortunately. It's a good question for the rest of the people here. Maybe somebody knows, but I haven't messed with it all. Yeah, I think on live, dyes were broken for assets, but I could be wrong. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't messed with dyes on live forever. So anyways, these are the 4 steps. A lot of this I already have some variant of. So I'm guessing based on their patch note that would be against their intent. Yeah. So what would happen is, let's say you guys currently have your clients, right? And you're, you need to move over to ROF2 Plus. What the experience would be is, you grab my program. So let's go existing user experience. Grab program, run validator, get analysis. In this case, it'll say, you have ROF2 assets. and properly patched with THJ, however, missing LS assets, right? Let's do this. Recommended action. Run this command in Steam. Then hit. Let's do like let's add another step. Actually, okay, we got the then hit the then hit patcher step. Patcher. And what patcher will do is okay, sorry. Yeah, I think, yeah, Pickle, I think you're going to be limited to whatever the experience is with Hero Forge currently, especially if you're going to use Lucklin. But unfortunately, I might need to switch over to Lucklin as well soon. But okay, so we grab the program, right? We run the validator, we get to the analysis, you get informed you have ROF2 assets and properly patched with THJ, however missing LS assets. This is going to be the very common flow. The recommended action is just to, run this command in Steam, insert command, then hit patcher. When you run the patcher, it'll rerun validator and look for assets downloaded via Steam to patch into your directory. So in this case, what you would do is essentially, run, like, if you're familiar with Shards of Delaya and their onboarding experience, where's the getting started thing? I think we copied it with our getting started, getting the client. Ugh. This is why I don't like Discord, is like everything's a mess. And like, okay, where do you get the client files? Server guide. No. Channels and roles. No. It's just, Discord's a mess when it comes to finding data. Download the client is in getting starting, but it's not there because it's unknown. You see what I mean? Like, I knew it used to be here. There it is. This is what I was looking for, but see just how messy that whole experience was? But that aside, this whole thing here, where you do the Windows R, open the console, and run the depot download, and then it, puts it into this directory. This process is what I'll leverage for the patcher. So you don't have to do anything other than run this command, right, in your Steam client, and then run this. I'll probably also make it where there's like an advanced button where you can just direct me to where a clean copy of ROF2 or Larian Song is at, and I'll be able to pull down those files as well. But anyways, once that's done, you basically will have what's called ROF2 plus. And that's because the plus is all these new assets that are being fetched from the latest EQ client and are ready to be accessed by the server, when they want to sync it up. So this fixes the foundational problem we have where ROF2 is limited by assets, and it's a pain in the butt to patch players with said assets because then you have to host the data. So that's why the plus is there. It's because it's going to offer Larian Song assets into the ROF2 client. And, once this process is done, this will enable a lot of servers, not just THJ, to be able to, tap into assets where needed. Unfortunately, it's going to increase the size of our client by, let's see, I think I have an LS client. This is a flatter drive, so it's going to take a second to load. Oof, that's a long initialization. Okay, so this Larian Song, here's a pristine copy. So this one is 14 gigs, where ROF2, when it's basically clean, is like, I think 9, 10. Oh, I might have ran, no, I think that's 11. That feels too long, too big. I thought it was like 9 gigs. Wow, so we only add a gig or 2? Okay, that's easy, assuming that's true. Cool. So anyways, it'll add a couple gigs to your EverQuest client, but then it's going to add a shitload of assets for server owners to tap into. So this is my project that I'm going to be working on. Yeah. Well, it would technically be an additional 11 gigs for the pristine copy that I can source from. However, what this also is going to allow us is that we're going to add better confidence that your client is up to date. Because this new validator tool could not only patch you, but also validate you and make sure that you're running, oh, got a disease, og. That your client is truly, in parity. Because new players have a tendency where they'll have errors and they're not really sure what it is. And if we had an option of like just run the validator and it'll tell you a report on like files that you've modified, that's awesome. One of the challenges I'll hit, I mean, there's going to be a lot, but when the analysis happens and then you run the patcher, I need to create like a report of files that appear to be locally modified and let the user opt in to ignoring it. You know what I mean? So that little filter tool will allow, for example, if you're using classic werewolves, right? I would love to have it where when the patch happens, I don't just forcibly override files that are out of sync. Instead, I report them and tell you, hey, something's fishy. What do you want me to do about it? Should I just put it back to original, or should we just ignore it because you know that that's there and it's okay? There was an issue with Imperium where they recommended you to load a different client to put Augs in armor, then go back to their client, like opposite of streamlined. Well, the general idea behind this, Matsurugi, is that once it's all done, you just run the patcher, right? Like the general user experience is that, you know how you currently have Hero's Journey EQ, and then you hit patch, and it just applies files to it, and then you hit play and you're done? We're taking that a step further. We're making it a more smart patcher. So instead of running that patcher, you'll have this new one. And when you run it, it's going to give you the option to basically validate your install and tell you if you're missing any assets. Because technically, if you never run this ROF2 client, this ROF2 Plus client, you're not necessarily going to have problems with the game. What's going to happen is that there'll be assets being pointed to that won't be there. So you'll get like error messages in your logs of like your dbg.txt, but they'll all be Dougs, right? So like you could still totally play the game without ever getting ROF2 Plus. But if you don't like Doug, aka the human model that's generic to everything, it's recommended that you just run this tool and it'll guide you through it. And I won't be opinionated like on the source. So for example, if you grabbed Lorien songs from a torrent or from a shared drive or any source that you might have, you just point it so that my patcher knows that is a source of truth, right, to pull from, and I'll validate it when I'm pulling it, you know, like that it's the right asset. And ultimately, I create that baseline, right, that foundation, so that the client is able to have confidence, right, or the server owner can have confidence that the client is running, you know, a validated client. That's the general purpose and goal. So this is supposed to enable users to be able to be more informed of being in sync with what the server wants, you know? And down the line, what I would love to have on this eventually is a step 5. Future plan, don't expect anytime soon, but feature 5 is a client-side modder. So if you want classic werewolves, if you want other things that you can opt into, these client-side modders come after that pristine copy from the server is done. And this would be things that, you know, get validated on top of the other 4 steps. And whenever you run the validator, it essentially makes a delta of every single file. The base files from ROF, the modded files from Lorien song, the, you know, the patcher files, and then ultimately the client-side mods. But step 5 is future. This is not in the near, because the problem with the client-side modder is to do it properly, you need Quail. And Quail is still in a very early like prototype era, right? Like it's still got a lot of work in progress. It does a lot of really cool features already, but until I can get confidence and get it to a stable release, I don't want to write a client modder for it and have like, you know, have to maintain the history of how the mod patches are happening now with each new version bump. Because, you know, I want to break things with Quail. So, you know, this would limit me on what I can break with Quail. So that's why it's kind of holding off for now. How does one get your AA per hour? There's 2 different ways. The easiest is you type in AA tracker, and it gives you kind of a quick guide on how to use it. That's the easiest. It just makes a black window that you can tab over and just peek at, and it's going to give you a history. And when you run it and drag it, you're going to see every single AA event you've ever had on that log file. If you're a streamer and you want the one that's on your screen, that's a different program. It's called EQSSR. Don't worry about it if you're not a streamer, but I'm just letting you know there is another one, and it just generates a text file instead that you can put on your stream. What is my AA per hour up to anyways? 3. That's funny. But yeah, we are, this is the plan. We need to get a name for this. I kind of like ROF2 Plus. It's a little confusing to say though. So maybe even just ROF2 Plus, like this. I think that's clean, right? Like that. I don't like the symbol. Because not only does GitHub not support it, but it's a weird character. But RF2 Plus is pretty straightforward. The plan, fear of self-rain. Rain. Is it Rain of Fear with an REIN? Yeah, rain is, it's like sunshine rain. I always say it's rain. So I'm going to avoid using, yeah. So there's the project. We're getting started. I don't know how much I'm going to get done this morning. I probably should do my dailies here in a sec, but I at least wanted to get the client up. Keep in mind too, my general plan with this is, oh shit, I just realized something that would be really, really, really cool. Sorry. My brain is going all over the place. Okay. So here's the plan, guys. And why am I getting a getting started thing? Who the fuck needs to get started? I've used you forever. Go mod init, github.com, Zachary, ROF2 plus. Code main.go. Package main, func main, error equals run. If error is nil, print the error. The other thing, thank you. If the program fails in Windows and is ran from a console, pause the screen so the user can let's see if it knows how to do this. No, you totally failed. Thank you. No. You got to make it console. How do I check if it's console or not? I thought there was a way to. Anyways, I have a question and feel free not to explore it. Do you know if there's a client-side way to edit when looking at AAs to limit by class? I don't think so. Well, normally there's no such thing as class in the AA perspective. You can do it through my server. So like if you go to THJ wiki, there is a AA section and you can filter here by class, and that'll at least help you, make decisions. Like you can go to the class tab and this will only show ones that are available for the ones you check. That's probably your best bet. I do actually have a pending update for THJ wiki. Honestly, I should probably work on that real fast. Shit. Well, let's at least kind of initial prototype this. Keep in mind my AA tab thing isn't reporting every single AA, unfortunately. I have some bugs with it I need to still clean up. But we do have this now. So I'm going to probably write it in Golang because I'm super productive in Golang. I want to make it cross-platform because we actually do have a lot of Linux users. as well as Mac users. So it's not smart to write a program that's exclusive for one OS. With that in mind, I could write it in Wales. But what I'll probably do is write the entire program so that it can be ran as command prompt. And then once the, and then we can make it as pretty as we want, and it'll run on every platform. And then a JavaScript dev can come in there and make it pretty. Feel free to push that PR I had to that people can use it, and I'll get with the Val on the best way ahead of some time. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Let's do it right now. Boop. What I can actually do, unfortunately, I don't have an easy way to do this. One thing you may want to consider in the future, Alicon, I think you can do this. This isn't a big deal. I'm just thinking, I can preview this before it gets merged. If you PR it into a different branch. Maybe I should do that real quick. We're just going to create a new branch real quick. Can you even do that on here? Yeah. So what we're going to do here is just real fast. We're going to make a Alicon PR. So we're just going to create this new PR. And then we're going to go into your upcoming PR. I could just obviously clone yours, and that would work too. But what I like is that I can merge this in by changing what branch it's going to go into. That should be fine. Anyways, so now you're going into this new branch that I made. And what we'll also do is we're going to squash and merge. So all of your different messagings are going to still be here for historical reasons. But ultimately, you don't have very many messages anyways. So we're just going to add squash and merge. And let's edit the title to say, like, add Kunark. Is this just Kunark, or is it... How about add progression updates? Just keep it generic. Okay, and then we're going to squash and merge. And what this will do is the commits merged. When you get a moment later, if you hop onto this PR, you can delete or close the merge request after, or delete your branch and stuff. So now we have this new PR isolated. And what I can now do is hop onto my repository of THJ Wiki. I know it's a little confusing, but I do this all the time. So, and on the bottom left, you'll see that I'm currently in the main branch when I pull down. So this is the latest tip, right? But if I click the drop down, I can now go to your PR, and I can run it on my local server and preview the actual changes you did. And, double check, did it have any rendering issues, which it did not. And, we could just preview the content, which if we go back to your PR, we can see a little bit more of like what exactly you changed. So you specifically added data for legacy to unlock. Yep. Perfect. So now you can see all the data that you've populated. And we can just, I can validate it before I merge it in. Normally I won't do this, but I just wanted to show you I can. So now if we come back to here, we can just hit compare and PR. And there, now it's going to get merged in. So now your PR goes officially in. That was honestly a lot of work for what we're doing, but now it's going to main. In the future, I won't bother with that. That's too much work. And so I can now delete my branch. You can probably delete yours as well. And it's now in the main branch. CI/CD should auto-compile. There it goes. It downloads Hugo. It generates the website right here. And then it runs a deployment into Firebase to actually get the the hosting updated. And if we go to THJ Wiki and we go to progression, so we can see, I think you can see here it's not listing the zones yet, or no, it already is, right? I think it already pushed. I mean, it's still saying it's executing, but it looks like, is this period still on your version? Let's see, kill the following bosses to progress. Was that yours? Yeah. So in your change, you accidentally put a period there. Just a small, In fact, I'll show you how I usually edit it. Okay, so it's committed. We're going to refresh the page. And I'll probably give you access to do this too. So let's say you wanted to do some more tweaks to this. You just hit edit page, and it'll literally take you to the website, the URL. Here's the file. And we'll just go find your .:. If it's there. Should be. Kill the following bosses. Why is it not there? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, it's right here. It's just this search is shitty. Anyways, there it is. So we're going to take out that period, hit commit, be good, and we're done. So I'm going to actually do that for you right now. What's up, Jerk Chicken? What a weird name. Hope you're doing well, though. So what we'll do is I'll take cBailer, go to settings, go to collaborators, and generate my passkey real quick. And use passkey. But it is available. There it goes. Then we add you as a collaborator. Boop. You now have access. You may need to click this. I'll toss it into like, I don't know, one of the wiki things. I am indeed. Helicon. Here's a link to it. And I put it in Zem feedback just because. So from now on, if you ever want to do a quick edit, especially on your page or anything, all you have to do is go to the page and hit edit page. And you can just live edit it real quick. And you can use the website to preview your changes. It's all good. If you even mess something up, we have a whole history for it. And you can go ahead and fork this repo as well and make it so that, you can just direct edit this now instead of using your forked copy. Yeah, no worries. And, if you get time or if you have the ability on your environment, be sure to run the server thing like I did. It just kind of helps. You know what I mean? You can go in here and then let me just show you. If we shrink this window a little bit, right? Let's say we're editing this page and we're going to do some changes to it. Let me get back to the main branch, pull down, go to progression. You can just do something like even this and just be like, exclamation mark, save. The moment you hit the exclamation mark, it adds it there. So you just get like a quick preview whenever you're working on junk, if you want that. But I don't really care either way. Whatever helps you stay productive is all that matters. I just wanted to show you some of the options are there. And cool. So we're going to go do, hey, I got a question. Savage asking me something. Can you explain to me, for example, if I had an SK/rogue with 25 heroic dex and an SK rogue with 50 heroic dex, what will be the difference from those two? Are you watching my stream? Oh, really? Alicon? Why not? It says it's in here. You should have a ping. Zen feedback should be public, dude. Everyone should be able to see it. Well, you can go here. Because anyone can click this link and it won't give you permission unless... Oh, wait. I didn't mean to ignore that. Do this instead. Oh, that helps. Okay. Give me 1 second, Savage, and I'll answer your question. So, Savage was asking the whole HDEX thing. I would recommend anything related to HDEX, hit up my HDEX breakdown and you can kind of deduce the data, which is probably easier than, you know, relying on me to explain it. But on top level, based on my knowledge of that, oh man, it's so nice to have nuke cast bars that actually work. Got another perfected gem of Constitution, which is the shitty one. I gotta do my VP run soon. Anyways, so on the wiki, what you want to look at is heroic stats. That's all you really want to do. Because if you look at heroic stats and you go to heroic dex, you can see everything it does. But keep in mind, because heroic dex increases your dex cap, it technically also increases this data. So every 3 dex is increasing your offense by 1. It's increasing your melee crit chance by 0.01 for every 10 of it. So if you're getting 50 H-dex versus 25, that's a 25 delta. You add 25 to 1.01, and you'll get what? Basically 0.25% more chance of melee critting. And yeah, and then you're also going to get the repost and the parry bonus. And if you have a monk beast lord, you get the block bonus as well, which these are really good. I need to kill all the 4 Kinetic Dragons to be able to enter the VP, right? That is correct. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to go to EQ. Oops. Did EQ Sparks mode make it... What happened there? Why was it black? Oh well, I think I fixed it. Maybe. I'm just telling Kata about that thing. You don't have to hail the ghosts. Oh yeah, you have to hail the ghosts after, but you shouldn't have to go to the bazaar to hail the Velius dude. He's just a validator. Sorry, that's what I was thinking. So from being here and not really paying attention, I've gotten a 6 fire resist, a 25 mana legendary, 6 poison, 6 poison disease, 15 hit points, a 25 mana, I think that was here as well, and this poison as well. So I mean, Ogs are dropping. Just, I'm not getting the good ones. Don't forget the ghost or you'll have to kill dragons again. Happened to me the first day one. Yeah. You can use an alt. That is true. You know, I should have thought about that Metsurugi when I've had other people try to get flagged in for it. The problem is when I go to clear it and then they miss it and then I have the DZ lockout. In fact, I can just Exodus and then kill here. I don't want alts. That is the last thing I want. I think I'm going to do a solo. Alts are not fun. It's just more work. So we're going to wait for me to be zoned. I definitely need to fix my, and I know I'm tangenting, but still, definitely need to fix my packet system so that the combined packets for spawn can actually be reported properly, because that would be nice. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom while I wait for the DZ to kick me, because I am out of the DZ. There we go. Let's do any. Wait, why am I able to click myself? That's like not right. I thought I had that off. Okay. I guess we'll just go kill the dragons. I don't really care about the Ogs in between. So, I do need some buffs. Something else that I can do with this cast program is give you a nag for various buffs. So like if you don't have Simp Strike up, it'll nag you about it. Because I can actually know what buffs you have up and tell you when you don't have a buff up. That's a mechanic I don't think you can do very easily without using MQ. Like Gina and stuff can tell you when it fades. But yeah. Cool. So we'll keep Caster Year on. Oh, I don't have anything in my power source. That's dumb. Of me. I need to level up these. See how fast they go. I have 24 AAs to spend. Hmm. And of course, the first mob I kill gives me another resist fire og. Let's max run speed and let's give init invis and holy shit. Why is every mob dropping ogs now? Oh, also, I need to load all my nukes again. All right, let's blow them all up if I don't fade them. Did I fade them? I think I did. Oh, there's two of you. I'm actually curious, and I'm half tempted to also reveal on my little program X targets. And I'm curious if I'm just using the packets, how accurate is the X target data versus the packet data? Like, is it a client side bug or is it a packet related bug? It'd be a good debugger for just general problems with X target for EQEMU as a whole. It's kind of my mindset. It's funny though, watching my cast bar on the right. Okay, so you ready for Hushkar? I'll do a big burn. Prolonged devastation. I'm mainly curious on my DPS report on the left. So I'm doing about 6,000 DPS right now. With just prolonged and improved. And I'm maintaining it, 6,300. I'm actually more accurate than EQ game parser, or EQ log parser, whatever it's called. So I did 5,970 DPS, while this is telling me I did more. It would be fun to compare them at some point and see if I'm off or if it's off. But back to full health. Got my, I could actually use Mana Stone on, oh, never mind, I can't. Because mobs are aggroed. How rude. Cool, no mobs, just him. Dude, I just raffle stomp these guys. It's kind of funny. Before they can even kill me, they're basically dead. I don't even have to heal myself with caster gear on. Well, almost. Yeah, I didn't heal myself once. Finally got a damn loot. I don't know why that was taking forever to get one. Cool. So anyways, let's rune up and heal on the way. I should get a hotkey for invigorate. Okay, so this one's a little more scary. I think priority is actually, in these scary situations, to use Soulwell. Actually, I could start defensive as well. And, because I'll be ready for Nixana in just a sec. See, because if I get Soulwell up on all these mobs, even though they are like almost killing me, you can see my health is regenerating so much that they can't kill me anymore. See, I'm now regenning more than they deal in DPS. So instead of like, oh shit, I better, better life tap fast, I'm better off to just pump a defensive and then just leech everything. And then the mobs basically keep me alive. I mean, I could use Rage as well, but Rage requires me to swap weapons, which lowers my DPS. So. Okay, so I need Death Bloom, because I'm low on mana. Done. Okay, so now let's kill Nexana. I actually can use Army on him. Starting the fight a little low on health. And I don't have an easy tap, so maybe I'll just do that. That was Rage, making me full health instantly. Ooh, he's hurting. I do have Imperators, though. That'll give me more health. I think I have ads, and I'm just ignoring them, and that's why. Alright, let's tap them. And they'll keep me up while I kill him. Even his little babies. Oh, they're swarm pets. You can't actually target them easily. I mean, I can still use... Oh, and still... Did I not con a mob? Celestial Cleansing. I think I broke my targeting thing. I need to make a second hotbar, which is like your target casting spells, and put it like above Nexana, so you can see whenever Nexana casts a spell. That would be cool.
Enraged.
Anyways, we won. A little dicey with the ads, but nothing too crazy. Robe of Adversity in a Blackstone Mall and no health. Or no Augs. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think any of these guys can drop things I care about. Can I, like, fade in here? Oh, shit. He's casting Virtue. I'm supposed to be feigned. I like how I don't have a death animation. I just walk in spy place. You see the strength of your will allows you to resume feigning death. That's pretty cool. I got the willful death trigger. So what I'll do is I'll stand, and I don't have any of my insta heals. Oh, I have tenacity up. That should help. I'll even switch these guys out real quick. There. Now we're good. Oh, he added, but nobody else? Interesting. So apparently I've been fighting him for 68 seconds because there was a damage event. That's something else I need to make it reset, is the fight if you have the mob at 100% still. Or something.
Enraged.
And no Ogs, because of course. Oh. There we go. Oh shit, how did I lose levitate? That's dumb. Okay. I apparently lost levitate, so let me work on that. Even though they're gonna come over here and kill me. Alright, I can kill them. Shit, I put levitate on the top. Oops, it's a lot of them. Fine. Once again, I'll use a ton of soul wells. Nope, that didn't work. That was a fun try. I don't know. I think AC is still useful. I'm just not sure the level of usefulness. It doesn't help. I lost all my buffs from dispels and didn't even notice. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I'm definitely hitting that point too. Dead, where I'm getting all these resist dogs, and I'm just like, I don't think I care anymore. My big debate still is werebone better than hit point ogs? I don't know. I'm leaning towards hit point ogs being better. I had to cycle a 40 hit point og out for another 3 heroic charisma. You're funny. You love your heroic charisma. Alright, so all I have to do is kill Zygaz, and then... until it is proven useless? Well, I mean, I can prove it isn't useless. You're basically auto-tashing mobs. My thing is, when you have lore doing a negative 300 or 692, like how much heroic charisma do you have total now? Like how much are you up to? 66. And what's your spell damage up to? Or 75. See, that's pretty damn good, I think. Because, oop, apparently I just got stunned pretty badly. Interesting. How are you at to 475? Pretty nuts, actually. I need to get my Robe of Azure Sky on. Hopefully it drops today. Why am I getting stunned so much? My resists aren't that low. I have like 420 everything. Yeah, but 30 Shadow Knight 30 spell damage shoulders isn't enough. That seems super high, considering I have 100 spell power just from my fucking hands. And I don't think are you dual wielding wizard epics? Because like I have 496 with, you know, I got to tweak a couple pieces, but I literally have 100 spell power just from my hands. And that's weird that you're so high at 475. Okay. Yeah, okay. So you're at least using the Wiz Epic primary. That's very close to what I'm doing. And then, yeah, and Sig Protector is arguably better, sacrificing a little bit of it. Okay, why am I getting absolutely rocked by this dude? Is it the ad? I don't know. It's weird. He's just hitting me fucking hard. Must be the lack of AC. Okay. So I almost zoned out. How many of those intellect augs do you have? The 15 spell damage augs, Zergling? I think that's the key, is you have a lot of really, really good augs. I still have a lot of slots that need to be TLC'd. I'm just sort of debating still what augs exactly I want. But yeah, self-buffed with a shallow protection on. My lowest resist is cold at 424, and that's because of the Shroud of Vishon being flipped for my White Dragon Scale Cloak. Do I still have... I don't have my mount on as well. That would actually increase my spell damage, or my cold as well. Maybe I actually want to go grab that real quick. In fact, let's just do this. You got Don't you have some plus 12s? Didn't you get some intellect dogs? I thought you did. So if I summon my mount for 74, can I lose something? I could always put on a Shield of Rainbow Hues or Shield of the White Dragon. No, I don't think it increases it enough. Because these actually give a lot of resists. Speaking of, with this ACOG, I needed an enchanted one. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and Bazaar back when it's ready and go kill the big man. But yeah, I bugged my casting. Because it's annoying to see everyone else's buffs going on. On cast event. That's what we want. At least for now, until we add the new one that shows target casting. There. Now I won't get all the spam from all the other players. Because that was annoying. You have 2 6s but no 12s. Got it. I guess I'm the only one that has snagged one. Yeah, they only have regs right now. I keep an eye out for those. I want to try to cap it in Velius. I want to see if I can get 750 spell damage. Pretty sure I'll be able to. But we'll see. Yeah. Sadly, that's all I have left. Like, I already have my full AC set, or it's kind of like an AC spell damage set. Holy shit, dude. Look at this. See these Primeval Onyx Skywings? They're poggers, but I think this is just streamer luck. I'll post that in screenshots. I mean, the disease one isn't horrible because it gives me 12 plus 3 DR. I don't know if I have an open slot though. Oh, apparently I do on my amulet. Or oh, I guess I'll put it on my pants. Why not? A third shawl. That's awesome. So where is he positioned? He's in the corner. Well, I wonder if I could flop and solo him. It's worth a try. Can I like bring him over here and then fade? No, I get 3 ads. That's okay though. Let's just do improve frenzied and blow them all up real quick. Maybe? Jesus. There we go. There. Now I don't have to worry about the ads. And he has like no health. I'll do some quick item clicks just so I don't have to heal myself as much. Also toss on defensive just so I'm extra tanky. And okay, why am I unable to cast? What the hell? There it goes. Okay, so let's keep blowing them up. Also, why is my oh, I haven't conned a mob since I zoned. Okay. So now let's blow up some ads. Honestly, I think I could tank all the ads and just nuke him to death. Okay, I think I almost have them all. Just one more wave, right? My mana is a little low, but I should be okay to do a... Oh, 4 minutes. Okay, fine. I'll just blow them all up.
Enraged. Enraged.
Can I make it?
Enraged.
Yeah.
Enraged.
He needs to die quicker. Okay, I'm getting interrupted too much. There we go.
Enraged.
I'm literally tanking all the ads
Enraged.
and Faradar. It was not even... I mean, I did press a bunch of buttons, but he wasn't that hard. Stratavishan and a reg health. Meh. Meh. How much are shrouds even going for? $20K? $10K? I guess I should be setting up merchants. Anyways, that was fun. So, I would love to fix the cast thing. At least I got VP done though. So now the question is, boys and girls, should I finish my dailies? Should I work on cast some more? Should I do a little TLC on Crit Sprinkler? Should I update THJ Wiki to have AAs? Or should I work on the new patcher? Or I kind of want to fix cast a little bit more. I'm having fun with cast. It's like my little guilty pleasure project, even though I have too many of those. I could actually incorporate Crit Sprinkler into cast. What should do next to well? Yeah, honestly, or do like a poll, or I don't know. I could random in game. Am I doing Broodmother and respawning? No. I've literally only killed VS so far. Or VP. I've actually finished all the items that I need, I think, other than Augs. So like, everything else is just cash items. Oh, my bad. I thought you asked me. Okay, so let's see if I can fix the packet problem. Pretty sure analyze gets called by something in here. So it does a read on the packet. This is gonna be so spammy, but fuck it. Let's see if this works. So 65 has an analyze. What we need to do is do a hex dump. On these failures. The problem though is, okay, so we're getting inflate read unexpected end of files. I don't think this is a packet. All right, let's go to a new zone. About chardoc. Okay, so on packet zoning, okay, let's cancel this. Womp womp. Okay, so somewhere in this dump is going to be a very large packet sequence. You're not any channels. There's the UCS one. Payload too small. That's another UCS one. UF. This is one of the server connect things from World. I'm recognizing some of this. Let's do this actually. Oh wait, I have to do this on a non-failure. Let's do this. I'm gonna actually change the stream elements thing real quick because I don't like that thing spamming so often. Congrats, dude. How'd it go? Was it overall pretty clean, or did you have some issues? Okay, where's the interval? Let's do like 40 minutes. There we go. Okay, we need to go to a zone that I can jump back and forth from easily. The problem with this zone is, well, I mean, I can just gate back and forth too. In fact, if I use Dazak escape, I can go back and forth even easier. Speaking of, where is my escape staff? Right here. Let's toss that in here. So anyways, we're getting a shitload of data now. We need this to be new lines on all events. Okay. So the idea is that I'll zone and immediately start this program up, and the new spawn packets will come in like that. Okay. So review this. Here's your AA table. DZ. All right, I have a breakdown of every packet in order somewhere. By the way, what is 2958? That feels like that might be it. That might be my problem. Because there's a bunch of them and they are all being ignored. Oh, these are guild updates. Never mind. I don't know if guild update would have a shitload of packets. Findable NPCs, where changes, zone entry server packets, 5089. Op zone entry. I don't think this has any cool data in it. Does it? So wait. Zone entry is every entity? Shit. So we can just use zone entry. Let's test. So if we go to spawn, I feel like that's wrong. Why is this packet 5089? Okay, wait. Yeah, it totally is. Why is it called zone entry? What a gross naming convention. Fucking annoying. All right, so zone entry server is going to cause a spawn event. Okay, so resp has a spawn ID. Is that right? And a spawn name. It totally does. God damn it. Okay, so let's remove all of my noise. This packet and this packet. Let's see if I fixed it. Okay, so we're gonna just evac again. because evacing causes you to call world server and then come back to zone. And by default, boom, I'm Shin. I actually have names now. Black Bear 005. Which I might actually keep the entity names just because it helps me with deduping when it comes to logs. I might clean it up later, but for now, it's perfect. Look at that. I got names. It was that easy. I just was detecting the wrong packet. And then when I kill him, you can now see that I'm doing damage to him. And when he dies, if I target his corpse, you can see, apparently I didn't do any damage to him. That needs to be fixed. But he did... I didn't do any damage to him because I crushed him. I think my melee is jacked, but the point is it's working. See, we've never fought the black bear. What we're gonna do is hit him and then smack him. Oh, never mind. That's gonna kill him. Melee is not being registered. So there's a damage event for 221. If you look at this, 166.76. What level? I'm 1410, right? Yeah. I'm hitting for... How's that damage event 221? Okay, well, let's test some more. The delete spawns are working great. I do not savage. I have all the reagents, but I need to... I was having issues with the epic thing as well. I just hit him for 152. It's in the death message. Ah. Okay. So in other words, when I do a battle, and the mob dies, I do this management, but before I do the management, if it's not okay, then create a new battle. And something like that. And then no matter what, we want to transfer this to battle logs. Okay, so if the data already exists, delete the battle. If it doesn't, create a new entry. Now, before we add the entry, we need to do the final damage that killed him as part of an event. So event is a new battle event. Time is now. Damage is the response is damage. Source ID, source name, damage type, spell ID, force, hitting, pitch, all those packets. So force and all these don't get sent, I think, on the last one. Yeah. There's still 4 bytes that are unknown. Also, it's a killer ID, I think. And this type. Oh, type doesn't get stored. Interesting. Okay. That works. That should fix. So now notice I don't have spawn data, so I don't know who anything is. But if I evac, also I need to con something because I don't get cast bars till then. I'll have to see now if I can identify myself easier. So I'm Shin, and there's a black wolf. But apparently I don't have a caster ID. Do I now? There we go. I probably need to get the player profile to find out who I am. But anyways, let's nuke the heck out of this dude. And he poofs, of course. No battle was found. Okay. So here I did my 220 or my 244. The DPS is infinity because the number of seconds was 0. So when I do my summary report, just make it a minimum of 1 second for every report. Let's do another evac. Okay, so I'm actually really happy with the progress on my little tool. I need to fix this event system, and I need to also, let's see how this does. Boom, he dies. And no battles are found. Oh, prismatic strike for $8.99. So his entity ID was 1. Oh shit, I need entity ID still to be reported on my target because I use that for debugging. So current target. There. What this will do is it'll say spawn 575, and then when I get my zone packet data, oh, I can now do pets. I now know how to find your pet IDs. Anyways, so now it says Shin 479. That's my entity ID. And I need that because when I do damage events, I need to be able to parse the origin. Let's see. So the scarab died. Oh. Okay. So there we go. You killed it in 1 second. You did 2,664 damage. Oh, what's also nice? I don't get the double message problem. Maybe I do. I don't know. We'll test it more. Anyways, but I do get the DPS now properly reporting. I do need to make a heal value. Let's put that in there real quick. So how does heal work? I healed for 1,064. I think it's this right here. Am I for? Yeah. So I did a heal event. But there's no... How does that work? Why is damage 0? Why is it reporting damage when you do spells? That's weird. So when you do heal damage, after all the calculations, you send a filtered message to all the close players about the heal event. You also send a hit point update. What is doing this? Why is there a damage packet event happening when you heal yourself? Very confusing. Any guesses? Let's see. Does it happen when I do an invigorate call? Yes. So 1825 did 0 damage. What is type? I'm doing 1921. See, it doesn't even tell you how much it healed for. Very weird. Anyways, we're going to ignore it for now because, yeah. Another thing we need to figure out is the pet data. Because now we have spawns. We need to add a new function that's like pets by ID. Pets by owner ID. Okay, this will allow us. How should we pull this data? I mean, it's a simple mux. I don't really want to do it on every draw call. We can do it on the polling code. I have my sprinkler loop here. And there's an update ticker, which I forget what frequency it does. I think it's like 100 milliseconds or so. That should be fine. And what we're going to say is pets equals spawn pets by owner ID. And then we bring in my spawn ID. And basically go if my spawn ID is not 0, then grab all the pets And if the length of pets is greater than 0, then is pet window is true. And we need to do a pet manager. I mean, I'll put it in for now here because we can always split this code later. So pet window, we're going to have, we won't even make it an array for now. We'll just go pet ID. No, I need to make this an array. So pets going to be an array, and it's going to have pet entry data in it. And pet entry is going to have the pet spawn ID, probably the owner ID, just for reference. I don't think we need to worry about that though. We need to do name, hit points, I guess. That's all we need for now. Okay, so when the thing starts, we now have pets. When a zone event happens, then pets can be flushed. And also when zone server info gets sent. Okay, so we now have all this pet data. We also need to look at the spawns and try to discern my ID without consider. I'll do that later. That's just another complication I have to deduce later. Anyways, so now we have all these pets. We need to see is pet window. And we need to do a draw. That looks fine. No, I want you to do this closer to the pink one. And then change all these casting windows to pet window. I think we could even do this. Okay, so we're drawing a box where the pet window is. Then we're drawing all the pets. And each pet is going to have health. This is going to be divided by 100 as a float. Okay. Next, we need to render all of these elements with an offset based on the index. Pets needs to be an array. Okay. I could just pull the pet data on every iteration, but I think having a pointer to the data, there we go. And on by ID, I don't know if I have that. No, and I don't want it. What does spawn give us, by the way? I know there's a lot of data. HP current, I believe, will be the percent. Cool. So we now iterate all the pets, and we're instantiating a pet entry based on the pets that have been reported by the database. Now we append it to the array. We no longer need this. Pet ID is an integer. Sure. Cool. So now we have pets in an array. There is a data collision here, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. So we iterate all the pets. Okay. So we need to offset the Y by an iterator value. It'll be like, maybe? I don't know. Let's test it. We also need to render the names of each. Yeah, we'll see how that looks. Okay, I need a evac again. Okay, so I have this window. Where's my pet window even at? Okay. The idea is that we'll have this little pet window, and one issue is we don't have any way to know if a pet truly is in this list. So let's do a call for that. We'll just add a little event called pets changed, just to kind of give us a little quick sanity check. And then we evac, that'll give us the spawn data. My pet should spawn here. And I never got, it's changed. I'm assuming the update ticker is working. Every 100 milliseconds, that's really fast. But according to this, no spawn data for my pet was sent. But it also may not know who I am. But if it didn't, that would have fixed it.
Thanks for the follow. Fixes87.
Yeah, Fixes87. Thank you for the follow, dude. I'm knee deep in code. Trying my best to add a new overlay pet window, I guess. I don't know why I'm deep diving this code so much, but it's fun. It's fun because this is my old project called RunEQ, where I literally wrote a client that could just run EverQuest. And anyways, speaking of, what's the latest chat on Doe? The conversations are funny. Winter Storm, Quest Forge, Nostalgia Quest, Open Realms, Iki Emu. Okay. So we're never getting a pets update. Let's do something gross. Quick sanity check. We're gonna evac, and this will just spam the hell out of my spawn ID the moment I have a spawn ID, which takes a second. Yeah, so this code is hitting it fine. Is there just no pets found for me? How are pets sent to you normally? I could look at the source code, but I'd rather not. I don't have to. Yeah, so we're just not getting any pet entities with my owner ID. So my assumption of owner ID may be off. Let's just report every pet during spawn adding. Oh. This is bad. Yeah, why was I creating a new instance? I don't have all the data being copied if I do that. That'll do that. Okay, so this may fix the pet window. We'll find out what the next issue is. So we have a pet. Look at that. Obviously it's buggy. I don't know why it's drawing. Okay, wait. So pets changed. Why is this getting changed? Oh. I'm just adding pets and pets and pets of duplicate data. That's what I need. Okay. Another evac. Well, this is fun for me, 30. But let's see if this works. In theory, I don't know when a new NPC gets spawned, if it's going to go. But there you go. I have a pet health for this mob. Unfortunately, the hit points, that's 72, isn't reporting here right now. But now let's spawn my pet. And let's see if this lists the second pet when I add it. In fact, let's first just spawn the pet. This is going to assume that zone entry is used for new NPCs added in the zone. Oh, my cast time was off. Interesting. But, okay. So it did add me. You can see that there's two pets here. However, the name tags are not offset properly. But that's obviously because I haven't finished draw call fixes. So what we need is that the pet window. Yeah. This is the dwarf bones and skeletons on a dark elf mesh. So you can see how he's like sitting there doing this crap. That's the dwarf idle model animation. And his head is backwards. I just made that for fun. I replaced my Grim Reapers with that. My Grim Reapers, my my specters. Just for fun. Because I hate pets. Anyways, we need to figure out the offsets. So we're drawing the text. This needs an I offset. So this is the X and Y. We need to add to this an I offset. Okay, why are we not liking this operation? This needs to be a int. Yeah. That should fix the text overlapping. I think the spacing for each section is too compact. I need to have like a 50px like entry size is going to be let's say 50. So every time I draw, we add on to it entry size times I. When we do that, instead of, okay, wait, x, y plus entry size times I. This will be on the Y. Okay, let's see how this looks. Probably gonna be off, but hopefully it won't overlap now with the 50 pixel change. We'll see real quick. Okay, so we just need to con a mob. Oof. So the pink isn't drawing in the proper position. It should be. In fact, why are there double draws? That's a little weird. I just want the... Oh, there's a background fill that's black. And then a foreground. That's percent based. So these are just incorrectly copied because ChatGPT was hallucinating. There also is white. This is just the text when you cast. I should just revamp this a little bit. The window box looks okay. Right, let's go look at the pet bar. Yeah, so this part looks okay. That feels so much better, by the way. I won't have a test pet bar anymore, just because it's kind of just there or it's not there, you know? Anyways, we'll fix the little bit of positioning real quick. Pet. I also should do like a global override disable for the pet window. In fact, what I just deleted, I should turn this into check is pet bar allowed. Basically. And this will probably be, man, I have to do a config option. That's fine. Pet H. And pet H. Okay, so now there's a config option, and similarly to the show cast bar, or this thing, on change checked. I don't think it's just is pet window. I need to make this is pet window allowed. So this is on boot up. code's getting a little unsavory, but I still haven't like lost myself in it yet. But okay, when you do update save, one of the options is just going to be that. I should arguably be just using config settings and not the game derived data. But yeah, let's see how this looks. It should be disabled by default. Oops, I crashed. What did I mess up? The walk event is trying to change the state of the checkbox and is likely breaking because of it. Specifically, 166 calls the CMW creation, which is a little bit weird that that's where the crash point is. It should be here. There we go. It's another go routine. I think that'll do it. Yeah, it was a nil pointer check error. Okay. So allow pet bar is enabled. Let's go dzoc real quick. We have to con something. There they are. Allow pet bar uncheck. Oh, it doesn't work. That looks okay. If I make the window small. One thing that's weird is notice the health of the mobs. Oops, I zoned. I'm gonna go have him kill something and die. Who should I have him die to? The easiest is probably to go kill, I don't know, let's go do Chardock. You can go beat on mobs and lose health, and that'll give me data on if that health bar will go down. I'm not fully sure why the resupply agent has the health it does, but it does. It's like right now, after zoning, they both have, like he's supposed to have 72 health. So Morthal is at 96% health, but you notice the health over here is like stuck at a specific point. I don't think spawn data is properly showing it. You can see the DPS of the pet though. You know what's also cool, by the way? I can tell who owns a pet and where like your pet's DPS can be merged into your character, because I have spawn data that tells me who the owner of every entity is that's being attacked. Isn't it cool too that I can like target Morthal and see how much DPS the mob's doing to him, 25, 26, and then I can target the Clyseer And I can see how much DPS my pet's doing to him. That's slick. Got a lot of cleanup needed, but it is technically working. Oh yeah, we can just Dizok. I don't think I have an ability to add a third pet, unfortunately. Like with my character, I don't think I, like warrior has no pet. I could probably summon both bankers. Or not bankers, but the merchant window. I ain't gonna use a dragon tooth to test this, jeez. I ain't made out of money. Well, I kind of am, but still. There. That's 3 mobs, right? 3 pets? Yeah, good enough. So. It's buggy, but it works. Let me toss this into like... No, dude, it's all good, Ludachip. I got 3 pets. I was just testing that the third pet actually gets thrown on the window or not, and it does look like it's fine. One thing weird is you guys don't see MQ cast on the stream. Why not? Oh, I turned off the EverQuest taskbar thing. There. And didn't turn on. Weird. Ah, whatever. You guys don't see it for a sec. Okay. Let's go back to the other mode. And now you can see, yeah, you can see it. So I do have a triple pet bar. I don't see the healths yet. I gotta fix that. That's fine. You know, one thing I want to do is I'm gonna turn off my log parser, you know, my auto log, and I'm gonna do a major blow up and see if the server lags or not. Like, you know how you get that really long lag when you clear a whole zone? Man, I need to move the pet bars because they're literally in my on my map. All right, I'll disable it probably here soon for myself. We're getting pretty close to a milestone where I could release it. I figure let's get the pet window done. Just the pet window and casting window alone, I think, is amazing. We'll do some initial testing, see how reception is. And I could put Crit Sprinkler back in. And honestly, if the lag doesn't happen with Crit Sprinkler when I do this, or, you know, like, if I don't get lag killing a bazillion mobs, this is a better approach. Because log files lag you, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's see if we get a Battle Master and if he drops what I want. Nope. You're not a Battle Master. You're not a Battle Master. No Battle Master. Womp womp. Okay. Let's do a quick roundabout. Whee! So last time I did this fight, I had a little bit of a struggle with the amount of damage coming in. This time, I could just go Furious and kind of cheat. I consider Furious cheating because it's not like it takes any skill to insta-kill mobs when they can't hurt you. But, yeah. Screw it. We'll do the cheat. Furious, improved, prolonged, kaboom. And let's see if we get any lag. We do. I don't think it's as bad though. I don't know. That's hard to say. Maybe? No, I think it's a lot faster. There's a split second like delay, but I'm pretty sure turning off logs. Oh yeah, pretty sure it improves performance. Cool. I evolved my bracer to... Oh shit, where am I? Apparently half my mobs are fighting my pet. But I fixed that apparently. Where the hell am I? Oh, I'm still in my room. You know what happened is I think I got summoned and then summoned again. All right, what's left and where are they? I think I killed some mobs. What do you guys think? Overall, pretty good mission accomplished today. I might stop for a bit and then start streaming a little later. Just do some other stuff. But pretty good progress on my little overview thingy. I will probably take Crit Sprinkler and just turn it into this app. I think it's going to be a better overall experience in the long run. I just have a lot of work to do to get all these different tools to work properly, especially like the DPS reporter. I need to think of like how I want to write an interface for you to like analyze all the data. I might even like spin up a local web server and make it open up on your browser, and then you can just like deep dive like GameParse does all the various data on a browser source. Because that's easier than me writing a whole UI and interface for like all the junk that you can navigate. Yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna wind down, and I'll be back on a little bit later. But we do have the placeholder for the player health or the pet healths. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to let you target through it, but it's nice just to have it where you can place it and not have to use XTAR. Because then you can just go F1, F1, and then heal one pet, and it'll impact all of them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't technically need more than this data. I could do some other cool things, like I could tell you what weapon is currently on the primary of every mob or every pet. So like if you need to equip a pet, it would tell you, like it's using no weapon. And, some other little quality of life things like that. But yeah. I could also report hate, I'm pretty sure, on all 3 of your pets. So how much active aggression they have. I need to do more testing and get more packets, though, for that to be proper. But anyways, fun project. Lots of work to do for it still, but it's moving along. I can actually render sprites for backgrounds, by the way. Like I could make bona fide 9-sliced graphics and render that instead of these like cubes and stuff. But I wasn't going to bother with that while I'm testing. We can clean all that stuff up later. So, anywho, awesome. I'm going to go raid somebody for you guys to watch. Keep an eye out. I'll probably be back in, I don't know, a couple hours, give or take. If you haven't subscribed to me, I'm a pretty chill streamer. I do some really nerdy Cody stuff, but you're more than welcome to sub and learn more, I guess, later. Let's check out who all is playing. Trago is a THJ player, I think. And Koala. Right on. I can't tell if BWS is playing THJ or not. I'm assuming not. Yeah, you as well. Oh, let's grab Procrastination. He doesn't have any viewers, and he's playing THJ. That's like the perfect what I'd like to raid. So let's give him some love. Procrastination. Done. There we go. Cool. You guys have a good day as well. Thank you again for tuning in, and we're making progress. Won't be too much longer until we get some really cool interfaces for everything. And I will get a release pretty soon. I may even just incorporate Crit Sprinkler back into this. Especially because if I incorporate Crit Sprinkler into this, it's easier for me to parse the data. And actually, the packets aren't modified. It's only the formatted messages that are. So technically, this would make it still work with other EQ clients or other servers. I'm going to have to test that at some point, like hopping on a different server and seeing how much data is compatible. I think a lot of it could be. Some of the cast time stuff wouldn't, but anywho, all right, guys, have a good one.